Hello, Funjelah podcast. We have another great episode for you. Our guest this week is a very good friend of mine. He's been a friend of mine for over 20 years. I'm that old that I get to say I've had a friend for over 20 years. Harry Shum. Harry Shum Jr., actually. Let me, don't forget the junior, okay? Started as a dancer. He danced for Beyonce, Mariah Carey, Jennifer Lopez. That's when I was friends with Harry. When we first met was when he was dancing and touring and all this kind of stuff. Now you probably recognize him from his roles on Grey's Anatomy, the show that he's currently on, or maybe Shadowhunters, maybe the film Crazy Rich Asians, maybe Glee. This guy is crushing it. I'm so happy for him. I'm so proud of him. We get into his attitudes and gratitudes on this episode, get a little inside peek into like auditions and things like that. And I just think you're really going to enjoy this episode with my friend Harry Shum. And don't forget to subscribe, leave us comments, leave us a review on Apple Podcast. If you want to call us and tell us what you're grateful for or what you're mad about. If you have a question, you need advice, you want to ask us a question, Danielle will give you that information how to do that.
Yeah, so give us a call at 747-300-5380. You can also text that number as well. You can email us at funjelahpodcast@gmail.com. And of course, as always, Anjelah.com has a form there as well.
So you guys can now enjoy this episode with my friend Harry Shum Jr. Harry!
Hi.
I'm so glad you're here.
So glad.
Oh my gosh.
It's been so long.
It's been a very long time. Now, everybody knows you from everything they know you from. Like, what an incredible career you have. But let's take it back for a second because
To our pimply old
we've
days.
known each other a very long time. Back when you had a house full of roommates, I had a house full of roommates.
We're all trying to figure it out. Hey, could this work out? Can we all live together?
Yeah, it turns out no.
No.
But you had your house,
We had a lot of fun.
1816.
We had so much fun.
We had our house, 2620, the girls and the boys. And then for years, we would do our game nights and just parties. And we were each other's people, basically.
Yeah.
Like
Young, dumb, and hungry.
Uh-huh.
Not much has changed.
Yeah.
I'm still young, dumb, and hungry, I guess. But yeah, those were the fun. Those were like, just like, we didn't really have responsibilities.
Yeah. Just living life, getting an audition, hearing about an audition and going to crash it and going to like just show up and
then talking about it for hours.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what
Yeah.
was great.
But I remember taking it all the way back for you, being so proud of you just with your Apple billboard on the side of the building. What building was it? It was right there on Highland.
It was on Highland, yeah.
It was a
like down Hollywood,
huge building, and there's Harry in your like dance pose for Apple. And I remember we would drive by it and be like, bro, that's our friend. Like, so super stoked for you for that. To see even like how far you've come. Wow, bro. Do you ever just like sit back? I mean, this whole podcast is about gratitude. So I'm sure we're going to get into like some career stuff for you. But like, do you ever just sit back and because you started as a dancer and you've been able to be a series regular on some incredible shows and be a part of Oscar-winning movies, be a part of franchise movie, like just so cool the career that you've had. Do you ever just like sit and be like, how did this happen?
I mean, every day. I go back and slap myself the days that I didn't. 'Cause you always have those days and you kind of get a little bit like, why don't I have this thing? Why don't I have that thing? And you're like,
absolutely.
But you have this, you had this, and you are about to have this.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't know. I follow this thing where it's just Steve Jobs said, you can only connect the dots looking backwards. You can never connect the dots looking forward. And it's just kind of, you just have to, the gratitude aspect is to keep you in line. But you kind of it has to be looked at in hindsight. Like you kind of have to look back and like, how did I get here?
Yeah.
And I'm just not one of those type A that like I'm gonna do this thing to get to that thing. It just doesn't work out like that for me. I kind of have to like play the spread,
Yeah.
and see what happens with that.
Uh-huh.
And then now I don't know. I mean, I really don't know how I got here. Like from the moment getting to LA and not knowing what anything was.
Did you know you wanted to be an actor when you came to LA?
No, I just did it. I mean, even when so how it started was in middle school. I just walked by, and I remember this moment. I don't have a visual mind, so I don't have that visual memory, but I remember the feeling of this moment when I was going to get lunch, and they were doing like this rehearsal, and I walked by drama class. And I was like, oh, and I just stood there and just watched them, watching movies and all that. You see that, but you see it on stage and you see people our age. And you're like, this looks fun. And I just came out of doing this elective. It was communications. It was like we got to put our own radio show together.
Cute.
And it was so dumb and fun. We were just doing like advertisements and putting like our own radio show with songs. And so the next step, I was like, I wanted to do that, and they were improvising, and so I went and auditioned just off a whim, and that just never ended.
Wow.
Like I just wanted to be on stage. I just wanted to do the thing.
And then you came to LA from where?
I came to LA. So I tried to go to school in San Francisco for 3 months, San Francisco State. Didn't work out very well. So I stayed at my dance teacher's back house in San Luis Obispo area, which is Central Coast, people don't know, which is in the middle of San Francisco and LA, waiting for my friends, Lucas, Brandon, Harold, like for them to move because they weren't ready. So I had to wait for them. And then finally I moved to LA after that and to pursue dance out of all things. Like, I just thought acting was so far out of reach that I was like, oh, maybe dancing. I don't know. Let's give that a try.
What has been one of the moments in your career that you've paused in your tracks and been like, whoa, this is going to change my life, or whoa, this has changed my life?
I just never thought in terms of changing my life. I never, at least when I was younger, now I guess I'm a little more conscious of things like, oh, if I do that thing, it'll change my life for the worse, or if I do that thing.
Sure.
But when I was younger, it was just very of the moment. So it was also like fear-based because the thing I had to prove, because school was of importance for my parents. Whether it be Asian, I think just my parents were like, we moved here.
Right.
Yeah, you got to do something about this.
Yeah.
I just did not have that. I was not prepared to get in that mindset, and maybe at that moment. So I said, I have to. The education has to come from doing.
Okay.
And just diving deep into the industry. Every day was I was trying to find the patterns of how I can make consistent work, but also to prove to my parents that I could do things in a non-traditional way. And I think that's kind of how I functioned for a good 5-6 years. So that changing life mentality was more like, how can I survive for another month? And then that month, then if I multiply it by 2 is kind of at 12, then if I could do that, then I would feel like I'd be in a good place. So it was just those numbers kind of allowed me to say, okay, am I making the right decision by doing this? Am I taking a chance if I don't do this now? And then maybe, I guess, taken as much of a certain capital, I guess.
Do you still have some of this with you now in your decision making with your career?
Yeah, I think so. I think, I'm kind of thinking of like the things that have worked for me, but, I'm a little better at just now having a family. Like that is a big part of like, that doesn't matter as much. Knowing that if I have everything's good with family.
Sure.
But then there's other one that leans the other, right? Like those decisions kind of lean on like family making and making sure that they're settled and we're all good. But to me now it's more like easy going. There's still the hustle, but it's not like we used to be in that hustle mentality,
Right.
No,
Totally.
it was constant.
Bro, did you ever think, now listen, you've always been a handsome guy. Did you ever think you're going to be a heartthrob, bro?
Oh,
That
gosh.
you're going to be the guy?
What does that mean?
What does
What does
it
that mean?
mean? Did you ever think
that
that you were going to be on Crazy Rich Asians and they were going to be like, wait, there's going to be this hot guy that comes in right at the end and that's going to be you? Bro. Oh my God, remember we were engaged for a Polaroid shot of
Yes,
our
yes, you brought
family,
me in. Yeah, that
right?
was so great. You know, I saw the director at
Oh my God.
somewhere, and he was like, "Yeah, I directed you in the movie." I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right." And that was such a like. I remember you give me a
Yeah.
call, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll come." I didn't know what the movie was,
Yeah.
and it was so fun, like just to be with you. So no, that was cool. That was
That
so
was, if you watched
Yeah.
Our Family Wedding and waited till the end, the whole premise of that movie is like there's the black family, the Mexican family, and then they marry into each other, different cultures clash and woo woo woo, and that's whole thing. Well, at the very end of that movie, the credit scene, it's in like
I'm
photos.
the king of credit scenes.
It's
that's
in,
the
yeah.
yeah.
Dude, you crush a credit scene,
Yeah,
bro.
man.
A credit
Put that on my
scene
resume, I
career.
can crush a credit scene.
So the end of the movie is we're at a dinner with my family and they're gonna meet my person now, and he's Asian with his Asian parents. So it's like we just saw This Is the Black and Mexican Family, and now it's like, guess what? And now I brought home an Asian guy, and Harry was my Asian guy that I brought home.
The stunned look on the family is hilarious. Oh my God. What a brilliant end credit.
Bro, do your parents, I mean, it took them a while to be like, okay, he's a non-traditional way, but when did they get on board and be like, oh wow,
See,
they're still not on board?
I told them 2 weeks ago what actually happened. They thought I like finished school. I was like, damn, what type of lies did I tell? I was like, what? Like, I kind of walked them through the whole thing of like going to San Francisco, and they're like, but wait, you finished school, right? I'm like, I don't have a degree. You didn't come to the graduation. No, I didn't finish school. But I think it was a moment when, you know, even when I was on Glee, they would like, because they were in Costa Rica, so they would air in Costa Rica at like 10 o'clock at night, and they would sit there, and you know, it was like the seasons where I didn't have any lines. I didn't say anything. So they would sit there and wait. And they're like, oh, we saw you. And then they ask, like, is this like, do they pay you at all? And I'm like, yeah. So then I had to like, okay, now it kind of pushed me to, which to me, the motivation, that was like very helpful because, you know, a self-motivation, you know, sometimes is wonderful, but there's something about like, you just want to make your parents proud, right?
Yeah.
And that aspect of it really helped me because I saw two versions of it. There's one, you know, they're not familiar with Hollywood. They they love Indiana Jones, those type of movies, but that's the extent.
Yeah.
You know, and so it was when I made it into the Chinese newspaper. The local Chinese newspaper was when they kind of lit up and started like calling their friends and then like buying a whole bunch. Like I was on like, you know, LA, like USA Today. I was in all these big magazines, and that wasn't like enough.
No.
But it was when they got into, you know, it was called Singtou Yatpo. It was a Chinese newspaper, and after that they kind of like eased into like, okay, I think you're good.
Yeah.
I think you're good. You made it. I was like, I could have made it in the Chinese newspaper for doing like nothing.
Yeah.
But no, so yeah, they just kind of fully have embraced it and seen that there's a path. I mean, the biggest worry, I would have this conversation with them probably every week. They're like, you know, they do a lot of drugs in Hollywood. I'm like, yeah, they do. I know, they absolutely do. I'm okay. I'm not.
Yeah.
And that was their biggest worry. But so when they found out I was doing that
you weren't doing drugs, they're like, okay.
yeah. But drinking, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Bro, what's a matitude in your life? What's something that makes you mad, that gets on your nerves, that frustrates you?
Oh gosh, you know, you get into a place where everything used to make you mad, or at least for me.
Yeah.
And then I got into a place where really nothing makes me
That's great.
mad, because it's just, if I can't fix it, what is the point? It's kind of like road rage. It's like, what are you going to do? Ram into the other person? Like, what is the point other than honking and letting them know something?
Yeah.
I literally have none of that. And it's been,
wow.
and I've kind of had that for the past like 10 years. I just don't engage. It's just as long as you didn't hit me, and if you did, no one's injured. Cool.
Wow. Good for
Because
you.
I've been there. I'm not saying like because I've been there, and I just started to realize like there was one time where I started, you know how someone cuts you off and disrespects you, and then you like follow them.
Oh, yep.
And then you're like, oh, but then I'm like, what am I gonna do? After this? And then like look at them. Usually it's like look at them and then like do this. And, you know, you do
Just
the
so they
thing.
see that you see them.
Yeah, you have the like best charades. Like, why can't you do this in charades where you can do this in, you know, when you have road rage? And I was like, I look ridiculous right now. I look like an idiot. And I just kind of applied that to everything else. Like if I can fix something, then I use that energy to try and solve it and trying to at least understand how I can use it, use that, I guess, attitude, anger or whatever towards something a little better. I mean, I would say the things that I now I use one of those wired headphones because everyone says like Bluetooth is gonna kill us now, just like smoking. I don't know.
Yeah,
Who
everything's
knows?
gonna kill us.
I don't know anything. Wi-Fi maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
Is Wi-Fi
all of
killing
it.
us? So I use the wired headphones, and the moment it gets in your pocket, how does it tangle right away?
That's a good one.
pisses me off.
That's a good attitude. That as well. Mine is for necklaces because I'll wear all my little necklaces, and all I did was walk from here to there, and it looks like I did 10 cartwheels, and they're just like, what? How? What? Yeah, I get it. That's frustrating.
And metal, like untangling, is the worst.
And then my eyes are getting not great. You know what I mean? So I'm like trying to hold on. I bought a magnifying glass.
No way.
I bought a magnifying glass.
You did not.
No, not like looking at a diamond or anything like that.
But like an Indiana Jones old timey one?
Not old timey. It's a modern one. It has a light
Like a
on it.
monocle,
You
like
click it and the light turns on. And
Gotta
so
have the light.
Modern magnifying glass.
yes. And it also has like a stand so you can like lift it up and then
What
like
are you using
angle
this
it.
for?
So it's anything. Well, for one, I had a hangnail right here and it kept bothering me and I was trying to clip it. So I put it under the magnifying. I was like, ooh, I turned the light on. I was like, ooh, I could get it real good, right?
You're about to turn
Yes.
into my dad at a dimly lit restaurant with the camera. You know, my dad
for the menu
my dad will open up the video and then zoom in
Oh, I've done that.
on the menu.
for the menu.
Well, I've done
yeah.
that. I've done that.
They have an
That's
app. They
you.
have the app. It's like
Oh,
part of
really?
the Apple app now. There's like a
A
magnifying.
zoom in?
Oh.
Oh.
Come on, guys.
Oh. No, I just went my old timey but modern magnifying glass.
You're gonna pull that out
zoom
of
in
your
I
on
just
purse.
bought a
things.
CD player,
Yeah.
man.
You did?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Going back to owning music
I
again.
mean, you get, that too, and you look all your mix CDs they used to make. You're like, what
Can't get that
emotion
anymore.
was I in?
Yeah.
How did I make this? What is going on?
Oh
here?
yeah, I
Yeah.
have my old CDs. There's
For everyone who doesn't know, CD is a
Yeah.
compact disc, a thing that you had to put into a device and it spins and you cannot touch it with your fingerprints
Yeah.
because it
Correct.
will screw it up and you cannot scratch it because someone will hit you in the face if you do.
I had a friend that would make like the best mixes
Mm.
and it would be like and they're not like DJ where it like goes into the next song. It's just the next song in order, you know what I mean, of what you want to hear. And his mixes they were called panty droppers and it was volume
Oh.
dropper.
volume 1, 2, 3, and 4 panty droppers. And this was like the R&B,
Hell yeah.
you know, like all them good slow jams.
I'm still listening to those, man.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, yes. Oh, but that's good. You just bought a CD player?
Yeah, and
Fun.
it's
Like
great.
a Walkman? Or
Yeah, I had the Walkman, and then there's this like cool one. I actually bought it for a gift from my manager. It's like frame, and then it has like the insides of a CD, and the inside kind of like mechanics of a CD. And you put the CD player in. It's kind of like an art piece, but it plays
and it
CDs.
works.
Yeah, and
Oh.
it's
That's so cool.
it's really cool. There's something because it is. I don't know. It's nostalgia. There's something about listening to only one thing, and you're just switching within that
Yeah.
boundary.
Remember listening to the B-side of a cassette tape?
Oh
Like
my
when
God.
you would get to the B-side
Yeah.
and you have to flip it over. And it was all the like songs that nobody really cared about, but there was always like one or two golden gems on the B-side of a cassette tape that were good. I don't know, am I too old for that?
No.
Okay.
MTV Jams.
Oh yeah,
God,
yeah.
we were aging ourselves. But
Yeah.
I love it.
I
it's
used
coming
to-
back. Come
I
on, these
used
kids
to-
are doing that now.
I'm too young for cassette tapes. Just kidding. But I used to rent CDs from the library.
Cute.
And I would burn them.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Onto
illegal.
I did, yeah.
Oh,
And then I
yeah.
would return them and I'd be like, these 12 CDs were so good yesterday. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
But because also too with mixed CDs, remember when you would burn CDs like illegally? Or like you would
yeah.
torrent
I did that
music and
plenty.
it would, it would be like you'd hit the song, it would be like Rihanna start singing in the middle of it, you just hear like DJ Jams, or
Yeah,
something.
DJ Clue, DJ Clue.
Yeah. Because of whoever you
Yeah.
downloaded it from.
Well, I used
Yeah.
to get them for high school. I used to have a side business illegally. Sorry for these people. That
Oh my god, your parents are just finding this out
the
now.
Eminem and like you'd get albums before they came out and they got leaked. And
Oh, yeah.
I would burn them and put like and get pictures and like
No
make
way.
it nice and like make it look official
No
and like have a
way.
backpack and sell it in high school.
Slanging
Amazing.
CDs.
Yeah, slanging CDs. Yeah, man. I paid for prom and all kinds.
Look at that.
Smart.
Got the limo and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, I probably.
Do you remember who you went to prom with?
Yeah, yes, I do. Yeah. I'm not gonna say her name.
Oh, I was like, tell us about your prom date. Well, those are good attitudes.
Amazing.
We'll move into some gratitude. Okay. I want to know about things that you're grateful for within your life. It could be from within your family, within your career, your marriage, your partnership, your childhood, your friendships, like anything really in your life, a mentor you had, a casting director who gave you a break, a whatever, like something or someone who pops in your mind that you go, man, I am so grateful for this because X, Y, and Z.
My gosh. I mean, it's into the hundred. I do. It's so hard to It's actually very easy to identify all the little things that people did because I think it's a compound effect. We always talk about the one person that changed their life, which is amazing because I think people can do that and have that effect. But then those little things also of people saying no to you and that actually steered you towards a different direction, which probably or might have been the direction you needed to go. And we sometimes look at it as a complete negative. And I mean, the things that come to mind, look, I was an immigrant. I moved from Costa Rica to San Francisco, then to this small town in the Central Coast, specifically Grover Beach. I went to a school called Arroyo Grande High School. That was a huge school. It's like about 1,200 kids went there, a huge campus. But in middle school is where I remember my drama teacher. I did this thing called Odyssey of the Mind, and it was where it was a really cool program. I think it's still going on, but not as cool, not as like big as it was before, where you would put a 8-minute presentation or like a kind of an act where you would have a problem that you have to solve in the world, and you would get prompt this, and you would have $100 to build the set, write the story, act in it, and
Wow.
and put it all together. And it was cool. There's no adults that could be involved in this. And I remember I did it for 3 years in a row, and my mom was so concerned with me because she was like, I think you're not paying attention in school. This is all you're doing. And also, like, you're getting a lot of nosebleeds, just finding anything to, like, stop me from doing it. And out of concern. And I totally understand that because I was also, at that time, my parents were just trying to figure out life. Like, I was, we had a Chinese restaurant that they didn't really want. They were there to basically raise the family, and they, like, when people think, oh, they own a restaurant, they want to be chef, like, my dad hated it. My mom did not want to be a part of it. They were like, they hired as least amount of workers, so I became one of the workers too. So I was like 9 years old, and Harold would be like, hey, let's go play. I'm like, no, I gotta go to work. It's like, you're 9, what do you mean you gotta go to work? But those little things, like, taught me so much discipline and the idea of that, my parents allowed me to do stuff. It wasn't because they were trying to keep me. They just wanted to make sure I had the right path. But this teacher, Mr. Lebo, at Judkins Middle School, he was my drama teacher. He would take the time to pull my mom aside and say, like, look, your kid has something special. Like, you need to let him try and do this and pursue this. And and it wasn't like pursuing it as a career, but like let him like finish this.
Yeah.
And then we went to world finals. It was a thing that, people all over the world would go compete, and we like won 8th in the world, whatever. And that wasn't even like the reason to do it. It was more that whole experience of working and collaborating. And I never really thought about it until, the idea of collaborating is something that I've always just lived with. And it's not something I had to like go to school to learn. It was just something that was normal for me. So getting into this business was something that I always cherished, and I always loved doing, and it was something that felt second nature to me. So for me, it was those little things that just taking my mom aside, whose English wasn't at that time wasn't very good, and to be able to communicate with her to like just allow me to give this a try. And I think those little things, to kind of also answer your previous question, it really changed my life. Really changed my life, because I could have stopped and not even have that experience to be able to draw from in future things.
Have you ever been able to have communication with that old teacher in your career now after you've experienced some success in this?
Yeah, I went to his retirement
nice.
back home. I try and visit. I don't have family there,
Sure.
so I really just go to see some friends and to visit teachers. So yeah, he's retired now, and he's changed a lot of lives. And in those, whether people go on to act or not, I just think getting your kids into a place where you can be collaborative, whether it be sports or drama, and just to either get in touch with their emotions, or whether it be like their physicality, to know how to work with each other, I think it's so important. Like I'm so glad I had those experiences and grew up in a small town. That had big dreamers. And that, like, to know that I came out of there, and then to come here, obviously it's a lot closer to LA, but still I know people who live here and still might not be able to pursue that, because it just depends on who you're around, who is actually like thinking, hey, this kid has something special. Let me just go the extra mile to communicate that to the people who could stop it.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's beautiful. You mentioned earlier about how sometimes we see no's as like a total negative, but they can end up being a positive when you get that no in your life. Tell me about a no that you've received in your life that you thought was just like end of the world type no. Like you were just so disappointed. I mean, especially like we go out for so many projects. Like we see on social media and the internet like the highlight reel of people's lives. Oh, now he's in this movie. Oh, now he's on this show or whatever. But they don't see all the times that you've been told, no, thank you.
Yeah.
We're going to go in this direction, actually. And maybe you've gone through like rounds and rounds and you really thought you had it, and all of a sudden you don't have it. Like, has there been a big no that you've received in your life that you're like, oh, this one hurts?
A lot of painful heartbreaks. You know what you say. I think as much as we like say that the amount of rejection, it's literally like going out and asking someone out, and you think like this person's a man or woman of my dreams, and like but like actually really fully believe it, and then you kind of go through the process and getting your heart broken, right? And this one, it's kind of like there's an emotional and also a creative and also financial kind of on top of that, right? You kind of like
layers of heartbreak,
different types of heartbreak, like and specifically, I always believe in the compound effect. Like I've gone out for thousands and thousands of auditions, and to most of the jobs the things that I've booked aren't from auditions. That's what I've like looking back. I realize it's because you've built up this time that someone's like, you're not right for this. I want to, and I think we forget that people are like rooting for you most of the time. There's some evil ones that are like, but I would say 90% of the time, like people are like, when you get on stage, no one's like, I hope she bombs.
Right.
Like it's just like, I hope she makes me laugh.
Yeah.
I literally like I do that, and And the worst is like, oh, like you're bombing, and it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I've done that, and I'm terrible at auditioning. I'm just not good at auditioning, and that's just to me. I like some people have that skill set and they can carry over onto set, which I don't think it's the same thing. It's just a different environment. Like I said before, I like collaborate. I like being around people. Because I think like someone has something to offer, and then I can offer them something. I just feel the whole audition process it is a reality, but
I've bombed so many auditions.
Terrible.
Where I know I'm good and I know I know this character, I know this scene, or chemistry reads, and all of a sudden I'm like, improvising with the lead actor and nothing funny is coming out of my mouth. And I'm like, I am a funny person. Why is nothing coming out of my mouth?
Watch this special. Because I should.
Pull up YouTube really quick. Hurry, somebody. Oh, man, have I bombed some really great auditions. And not only acting auditions, I remember dance auditions when, when I first moved out here, I was trying to be a dancer too. Any cheerleading movie, I was like, got it. Where is it? I'm showing up. Let me go get that real quick. Bombed every single one of them. Not one did I book. And I'm like, what in the heck? So I know there's just been so many times where I felt so confident and walked in and they were like, no. And I'm like, you're right for that. That was terrible. That's...
do you think it just wasn't for you? Like something
it has to be in the end.
Well, in the end, I feel like there's I truly believe, whether it be it's an angel or if it's just the world kind of like the vibration is like not vibrating in the place that you are.
You're all trying to shake it, girl. Come on.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, it's not happening for you. But I 100% believe that it's just not the right vibration, and maybe, but it still needs to be done. That's the hard part. Like instead of like, well, I just won't audition more. It's like, no. You still need to. You just won't get it.
Yeah.
But you're still collaborating in the sense of other people are watching it.
Yeah.
And they're saying this is not aligning to what this thing is.
Sure.
But I can't wait to put them in something that it does align with.
Oh yeah.
And when those calls come, those are more satisfying because it's unexpected. It's like, what? Okay. Like for instance, when I did Everything Everywhere, I was, it was a fun little cameo that I've been following the Daniels for so long from the music video days, and I even told my manager I want to meet them. This was maybe 10 years ago, and she was like, "Okay, sure," but then Daniel's like, "Oh, we don't want to meet anyone unless like we're working with them. We're about to work with them specifically during that time because they just they was like, if we want to like bring them on to something we're actually doing." And then I did Nora from Queens, Aquafina's show. In that episode that she had me come on to, they were directing. And I just I was like, oh my God. But people didn't know about them. And I was like, this is the Daniels. They're like, who? And I'm like, oh my God. So I like geeked out working with them. And I got to do so many fun things that they normally do in their music videos. And then from then on, they're like, we got to work with each other. Then they hit me up about Everything Everywhere.
Wow.
And that's kind of how that whole thing worked out. And so you couldn't have planned that,
So when those type of moments happen, because you were like, I think that's more gratifying. I feel like I'm grateful for those moments because honestly, if I think back to a lot of the things that I've done more recently have been from an offer because of a relationship. Because my guest star on Superstore is because I'm friends with America Ferrera, and she was directing that episode. She was the star of the show, and she knew that I was capable of doing this. She's like, I don't need you to audition. I know you're capable of this, and I want you to be this role. So I got to guest star on that show, and that was such a cool phone call to get. But there's something about, and I'm going back to like my old pilot season days of when you're just going out for like all these different auditions, and then you get the call back. And then another call back. And now it's call back with producers. Okay. And now it's chemistry read. Okay. Then you get the call, you're going to test. And it's like, oh my gosh, I'm testing. And then it's like you have studio test and then network test. Getting the call after all of that you booked it.
Mm.
To me, that's more gratifying because I'm like, I worked hard for this. I I wanted this. This whole process took like weeks or whatever to like do all these back-to-back auditions. And like I wanted it and I dreamed it and I went at night thinking, okay, what if I am this role? And I visualized the role and I visualized, the set and what it could look like and all of that. And then you're in the room with these producers and you have a vibe and they're laughing and it's like, oh my gosh, this could be. Getting that call that was like, you got it, we booked it, is such a magical, like you can't replace that feeling. And then getting the call you didn't book it is such a heartbreaking
it's
feeling.
extremes, the two extremes.
Yeah.
It really feels like it's closest, I guess, not in by like many, many miles of like what it is to win a championship game of something, right?
Oh, yeah.
But it is for like kind of
Yeah.
whatever we do. And I don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't want to go. I've gone through these other things that just like for me, we all have our different like I was on a show that I auditioned once, like when I was and I didn't have anything to say for a whole barely a season.
Yeah.
So I had to work hard through that way of like making sure that okay, how can I make this character pop my own way that's not in script.
Yeah.
Every single episode I had to think like that.
Yeah.
And it allowed me to, now I look back at those moments and I can still apply it no matter whether I'm in front of the screen or behind the screen.
Mm-hmm.
It allows me to have that school of thought that I didn't. I feel like you can only have an experience, that feeling of just like, I want to do more. I want to respect what's on the page and respect who's in front. I'm in the background right now, but I still want to give it life.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you think like, and then I look at it as a whole of like, this is what we're all trying to bring something alive, not just the people that are on the foreground, but people in the background, people, the production design. How can I make this all feel alive?
Yeah.
And that to me is like satisfying and gratifying in so many ways. And I think just like for people who are like getting into trying to do this, or people who are even doing this now, it's like, man, there's so many different ways of getting there. There's that way of like, you go through the producers, you go and call back, or there's ways of like, you do it so many times where someone's like, man, we need to find something for this person.
Yeah.
Because like they've been grinding, they've been doing this and they haven't had the chance to showcase what they can do. That feels good too.
Yeah, 100. How did Grey's Anatomy come about?
That one came out of nowhere. I got a call for it, and it felt like it just came out of left field because I haven't watched Grey's Anatomy forever. I never thought about Grey's Anatomy like wanting to be on the show, and I got a call and that they wanted to offer this role to me, and I was just kind of blindsided. I was kind of in that place where I was trying to figure out what I was going to do next, just starting a family, and honestly, I couldn't imagine at the time. I was just like, okay, Grey's Anatomy's been on for a while. Let me rewatch it, and I was like, wow, this show still has it. It's still wonderful. But to be on set, and it's my 4th year. Wow. It's one of the best jobs I've ever had in my life.
Wow.
It literally is, and all the things that you would think of being an industry that's like, when things are abnormal in the industry, meaning it's just usually you have so many variables that can kind of like make it like, oh, this is not just inconvenient, but do I want to start a family? They're just one of those shows that, have a family, but also come do great work and then be in LA. And I, from bouncing around so many places, I feel like the show has done so many amazing things to keep the spirit alive of what makes TV great. And also everyone's so damn nice.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's so good to hear.
Yeah.
What a cool opportunity, man.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, don't get me wrong. Like I said, there's nothing like the feeling of earning that role, but getting a call and say, hey, you want to be on Grey's Anatomy? I will take that call too. You know what I mean?
It's, and the thing that people, I think, like, it's the relationships over time that start to, because everyone calls each other.
Yeah.
And and I think also what ends up happening is it's this compound effect that I can go back and start asking. I'm still discovering new things of like, oh, you guys were conspiring to try and like get me how to like get it to me, and then also by that same time you guys were going, and I'm sure there's other actors they were looking at, and then availability, and then it starts to all these things start to happen. You only know if you get on that other side.
Yeah.
And sometimes they will never tell you until maybe you're like 80 years old.
Yeah.
And so I look at it as like a couple of things. I'm lucky as hell. I think there's a lot of luck that plays into it because I was available at the right time and also at a place in my life where it's something that I didn't think I wanted. And I think there's something really beautiful when people always say like, the thing that you want, you go and get. But I always wonder how many things that you actually inside really want that you're not conscious about if you're going for that thing that you're not letting in that thing that you actually really, really need.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you want and need are two different things. So for me, that was just, I was at that moment of just opening myself up to the world and
Fantastic.
and not as headstrong about like, this is exactly what I want my career to be, because kind of my whole career has been like, I don't know where I'm going to go.
Yeah.
I know what I want to do within the boundaries of kind of the things that I can name to, the people that are working with me.
Yeah.
But that has kind of shaped the way I think about things now.
I feel like that was me with stand-up and acting. Like I was pursuing acting and I didn't want to have anything to do with stand-up. And stand-up kept coming after me. And I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll go do another show then. And then here I am 20 years later. This is my life. Like I'm a touring, headlining comedian like this. I never thought this was going to be my life and what I was doing, but I'm so grateful for it. And I'm like, what a blessing that this is my life.
What has been like for you? I mean, to me, it's just incredible because, you went to Central Coast and performed because Harold was like, it's like I came back to like, he was so proud. He was like, man, it's just so awesome to see you doing it for so long in such a beautiful way. But like for that, what was it like? Were you just kind of pushing it, like you were really pushing it away, like you didn't want to?
100%. I wouldn't even call myself a comedian in the beginning. People would say something about me being a comedian. I'd be like, oh, I'm not a comedian. I'm an actress. I just do this for fun. Like that's what I would say because I was so disconnected from it. It was not what I wanted for my life. I was like, no, I don't want to be a comedian. Like, yeah, I have some funny jokes, but this is not what I want to do. And so in the beginning, I would go on tour, but it felt like I was always looking over my shoulder back at Hollywood. Like, hey, are you guys ready for me yet? Do you want to book me in something?
Maybe if I do,
No?
look how successful I am doing this.
Yeah, no, not yet. Okay, well then I'll be over here in Toledo. So call me when you're ready, So that's how it was in the beginning. And then things slowly started to shift and I started to embrace this role as a comedian and embrace grow where you're planted. And so it was like, you know what? Things are popping off here for a reason. Let me grow here. Let me invest here. And it's like the imagery of a garden, okay? And I try to do so many things and I plant so many things, right? But you can't give all of yourself to all the things. You can't be the comedian, the director, I'm an actress. I'm also let me take some writing classes and I want to do this. And I also want to do this. And like you start pouring a little bit of yourself into all these projects, even though all these projects aren't meant for you. Not everybody's meant to be the director. Not everybody is meant to also be executive producer making all the decisions. Some people are meant to show up and do your part and then that's it, right? So I definitely went through a season of like trying to do all the things. And they weren't even things that I necessarily wanted. It was things that I saw that I'm like, oh, I should probably do that too. Oh, look at my friends. They're directing an episode. I should probably learn how to be a director too. Let me do that. Let me try to do that. Oh, look at my friends. They're doing this. I should probably do that too. Okay, let me try. Let me dip my toe in this water, in this water. And then slowly your garden is not flourishing, right? You're not feeding it appropriately. You're not the right sun, all of that thing is not happening. So I definitely went through the season of I'm going to just let everything die. Like I'm taking my hands off of the garden This is during COVID 2020. So I had no choice but to let it all go. And it was kind of like, what's left in my garden flourishing? What is it in my garden that I don't even need to try?
Mm-hmm.
It just flourishes and it just is. And it has always been stand-up.
Mm.
And so that's the thing that has always been like, I do try very hard with my stand-up, but it's one of those that I don't even have to hustle and strive for. It's just,
it's an organic. I mean, you're growing organic
definitely,
fruit, man. Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
So that's what it's always been for me in that. And then it slowly started changing, where it was like, oh no, I'm an actress, just do comedy for fun. And then now I'm a comedian and I'll do acting things when I can, when I get them, when I book, because I'll still audition, not as often as I used to. I still get phone calls of like, hey, we want this part for you, blah, 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 you know, those kind of things. But for the most part, it's stand-up is like my main squeeze.
That's amazing. I just love that because you have I think that the dream is to do the thing that you love and to kind of have control of when you want to do it and to be able to also, I think, you know, it's a different breed, you know, comedians, because you get to be on stage in front of people. Like, you know, the only times when I was dancing, when I was on tour, I just remember that was like the gratitude of like, damn, man, it's just the artists, us and the band right now connecting, and these fans are just wanting more and there's no other feeling like that. You know, I'm sure a joke landing and that laughter, and then it doesn't stop, and you're like, you have to hold for that before you can move on. There's something really just beautiful that you're not going to get it in any other places, but it also allows you to choose a little more wisely, I'm sure, right? When you're whether you offer or things that you kind of go out for, which I don't want to stop. Like, I want to audition. I want to be able, because you have to show people what you can do that people sometimes aren't creative and be like, I don't know if you could do that. I was like, okay, well, let's see.
Yeah.
Let me surprise myself too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember talking with a friend of mine, Chris Gorham, and who has done drama and comedy. And it was like he was on a series regular on a comedy and then goes out for a drama. And they're like, yeah, but can he do drama? And then he books it and he does drama and he kills it, right? And then he goes, after that show's done, goes to comedy. But can he do comedy? And it's like, bro, I can do all of them. Look at my resume. But it's like they just see you like, what were you last in? Like, but can he? Like, they have no
clue.
Yeah. Anyway, what this is a side thought, but is something that I was curious about, because you have been able to be a part of some really big projects that have massive fan bases. Which fan base has been the most wild for you? Like,
oh wow, they're all different stages. I mean, like Shadowhunters was the one that really just blew me out of the water. Like, when the show got canceled, the fans, like,
devastated.
They devastated. They booked one of the planes to fly one of those big flyers over Netflix.
No way.
Save Shadowhunters. They bought a massive screen in New York, Times Square.
No way.
I mean, it was just they and I won an award. Like, I won I think it was a People's Choice Award. I wasn't even on the ballot. They wrote me in on the ballot. They voted, and then E was just so shocked by this that they're like,
I guess you win?
Yeah, there was like, you weren't even on the ballot. We didn't even know who you were.
Wow.
Amazing.
And so, like, you know, shout out to the fans. You know, and it just, you know, I think it was like the material and the show and the relationship and you know, I took as much care as I could of it. And I was just so grateful to kind of see the response, and even to now, people are still kind of discovering it or watching it. But then, you know, what's funny is Glee and Glee, people are like, either they grew up with it since they were 5, so they didn't get the jokes when they were 5, which you probably shouldn't have been watching it when you were 5. But then they're watching it as like adults, and they're kind of reliving a childhood, but also hearing the jokes and understanding it, how crazy that show was, and then even like Grey's, it's crazy because I don't even know how many was it, like I can't even name the number, but it's 22 seasons
Wow.
of a show,
My
and
gosh.
people will finish it in a couple of months, which is insane. I can't even do the math on that. That's kind of like watching like 10 episodes a day. To be able to do that, and people come up to me saying that they've caught up and they're rewatching it again. So it's just this, like, it's so cool to be part of these
How amazing.
these shows that whether they grew up with it or now it's their pivotal parts of their life, that we get to kind of be with them. And I think that's like the power of TV and just movies in general. So it's been really neat to kind of see it in this way, how like even like CRA, Crazy Rich Asians, I'm in the end, but it's still like I'm associated with it. But for me, I felt like more of I felt more of a fan, kind of watching a movie like this become something that like it shouldn't have been, but also it should have been, for a long time. And I don't know, man, I pinch myself, but I also look at it as like, man, I get to be part of projects where people have been wanting this thing that no one thought would be successful. And I think same thing with Grey's. People think it's been so long, but the pilot, they were like, no one's gonna watch this. Yeah, who's gonna watch this show, and it became a hit after that.
Incredible. I had a feeling Shadowhunters was going to be a wild one because I remember I posted something with you a long time ago. I don't even know what it was. Something having to do with nothing. It was maybe I ran into you or something. I posted, but I don't remember what it was. The amount of Shadowhunter fan pages that reposted, turned it into a video, turned it in like with music behind it, and I'm like, oh,
they're
my
creative,
god,
man! They're creative as hell.
I was like,
it's
wow,
because it was a book series, Ange.
Oh,
people go hard for their book series. I also read the book series. And the movie was very bad, so everyone was really into the show version.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got a second chance.
My book nerd over here.
She's the one who ordered the plane.
She did.
She ordered the plane.
She
She's like,
was on the committee. Let me tell you.
I made that vote. Thank you.
She's like, glad to hear you liked it.
You're welcome. Just kidding.
Okay, give me one more gratitude of your life.
My family. Shelby. And Marzia. I just don't know where I would be without them. But I find myself now in this stage where, work was, the number one priority before. And I find myself knowing that is still a priority, but I know when to pause it. Kind of like your favorite show that you're watching and you're like, but I got to pause this and go do that thing.
Yeah.
And to be able to press play on that part of life of like, we just had a birthday for my daughter who turned 7 and
7 already.
7, man. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. And the birthday party, that whole day was just like perfect. Just little things like taking them to music school, having lunch with them, and then being in the car with them, which is my favorite. I just love like I get to share music, and she gets to tell me about all the music, and we get to listen to it. It's those little things, man. We talk about these grand things, but it's the little things and the stuff and the stories she shares with me, and then like wanting to, and people do this often. Was like wait till they grow up, and then they don't want to be around you. I don't know, and I have so many friends. It's like they don't have that. Their kids want to be around them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I want to talk to those people.
Yeah.
I want to be around them because like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
I want to see more of that because there's always this like, and I was like, well, I don't want to disconnect with them. Yes, there's going to be a time when they're going to want to explore different, like
their identity.
Absolutely. Come on, like to not want to talk to you anymore. It sounds crazy to me. So I cherish these moments, and I want to keep fostering. And that's been the thing that's kind of keeping me like very full. It's like, man, I love this, and I think if I keep fostering this, I can have this as long as I want to have it. It's when that moment kind of disconnects for
Yeah.
me. So my gratitude is being able to be conscious of this, to be able to do my part into making sure that I can divide the times properly. Because
Yeah.
there are moments I gotta go full in on the work, and then there's times when I don't think about the work at all.
Yeah.
Because I think that actually makes my work better.
That's so good.
Yeah.
That's great. And you and Shelby, you guys wrote a book together.
We did, yeah. We wrote a book called Marty Dares to Dance. It was fun. It was really inspired by our daughter. She, one, we never saw. We wrote Giraffes Can't Dance, and she
Okay.
loved that book. And we're just like, oh man, it'd be cool to see like some humans
Yeah,
dance,
yeah,
like
yeah,
little
yeah.
kids dance. And it was at the time she was writing a project, a school project about space, and we're learning so much about different planets that she loved. And then we just thought, hey, it'd be cool to do the characteristics of the planets, and be inspired and to make a move and dance moves into an 8 count. So Marty Dares to Dance is about a Filipino boy who gets made fun of for dancing. A lot of boys do get made fun of for dancing, and then they stop, which they shouldn't. But then he has a dream, and he goes to space, and this Martian kind of flies him through the different planets and teaches him a whole dance. And he wakes up full of confidence and excited to do this dance at the school dance. And it's just really a great book that we all got to work on together, and to really just
Special.
inspire kids to just have confidence. And if you love something, keep
Yeah.
doing it, because you'll be made fun of for anything you try to do.
Right.
Because, kids don't get to do that themselves, or they just, whatever it is, it don't matter. But like that was a really fun thing. And we're writing a second one right now.
Oh,
so
nice.
it's been really, really fun to kind of be outside of the thing that we normally do.
Yeah.
And to have something physical to hold in front of us.
Now, you and Shelby both danced. Is your daughter into dance?
Yeah, she's better than both.
Oh.
I think it's, I don't know, like there's this like a exposure aspect. I think there's a thing that obviously, whether it be the genes genetically, but there's something, we just expose her to a whole bunch of cool things.
Yeah.
And she loves to freestyle. And I'll sit there and be like, how do you
I love that.
Where'd this move come from? I don't even know. She's like, can we have a dance freestyle party like after dinner? And it's the best. I'm like, yes, burn the calories. Let's do it. And it was been really fun, just because if I started to go, and she's like, you're doing the old robot dance. Why do you always like hit everything? And I was just like, oh yeah.
Ooh, critiquing your freestyle.
Very much so. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, you show me a few things. So nice to have another fun energy, because because my wife is she's full on like trained dancer, top to bottom. I'm more of the kind of come in and fake it till you make it type dancer.
Yeah. But you faked it pretty well. You
I
faked it pretty
enough.
well.
But yeah, it's just cool to see. And like and Shelby, she's I don't know if she just booked so Toy Story 5, she's a character on Toy Story.
No way. Congrats.
Yeah, so it's
Shelby.
really cool to see like my daughter like see her and kind of seeing these things that she's always like looking forward to in a fun family way. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. I love that for you. You, Harry, what a life. What a blessing. Not to say every day is perfect. Nobody has a perfect life. But
no.
looking at just your life, how long I've known you from moving here in 2003. Yeah. Just looking at your life, man, what a blessing. And not just your career, but even the things you're just saying, like those family moments, being with your wife, your child, the things that we take for granted, going to music class, driving in the car, having dance party after dinner. Like, what a blessed life.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. You too. I love knowing that, how long we've known each other, and I've kind of always like admired you from afar or close, near, or whatever the times we get to see each other, because for us to like make a life out of this and to go back to like something that you've been pushing away, and then feel like, oh, let me embrace this thing. How can I make this feel whole
Mm-hmm.
is I think that I think there's whispers always.
Yeah.
And sometimes screams.
Yeah.
And you're just like screaming back at it as opposed to like, okay, let me see what this is all about.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, I think examples of that. And it's really, really cool to see all the, not just the fans that you've kind of accumulated over time and doing it the way you do it too.
Mhm.
I think that's what's cool about it. It's
Yeah.
not just you could have done it how everyone else is doing it,
Yeah.
but you're doing it in a very specific way. And
Thank you.
I really appreciate that.
Thanks, Harry. I remember first when I was first starting in stand-up, I remember being in the car with you and Lucas. Maybe Harold was there. I don't remember. But I was just learning how to beatbox. And I remember I was like, you guys, listen to my beatbox and like tell me like if it's like good. Should I do it in my show? And I remember being in the car and just hitting with like a and then like hitting with like some sort of beatbox, and then all of them, no, definitely, definitely don't do that. Do not do that.
The funny is, I think I felt like you were doing a bit, but I think there's a little bit like,
Yeah.
oh no,
Yeah. Oh,
no, I was just kidding.
yeah. So dumb.
Meanwhile, you go home
serious?
and cry. You go home and you're like, oh God, I had this whole thing set up.
You guys thought I was being serious? Joke's on you. Nerds, all of you.
She practiced for a whole 3 days.
I sure did. Let me tell you, this was my first performance.
Hey, man. That's another plant you can grow right
Yeah.
there. You take time. You really got to take the time and water it. Get enough sun.
I didn't water that one enough.
No.
Oh, Harry, thank you so much for
Thank you
coming,
for having
being
me.
here on the podcast, sharing your stories, your gratitude with us. Appreciate you. I love you so much.
I love you too. I love the name of the show.
Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. Bye.
Bye.